Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this week's video, we're talking how to look tall in flats. If you're new here, my name is Alarna and I'm a fashion stylist and image consultant based here in Sydney, Australia. I shop all the time with my clients for every part of their wardrobe, and a big part of that wardrobe is the everyday clothing. It's really normal for my clients to want to wear flat shoes or sneakers around the place. Sometimes wearing high heels is just not practical for my clients, so I really wanted to focus this video in on how to wear flat shoes but still maintain the length in your body. How do we keep you looking lovely and long and slim and not feeling like you just kind of stumped yourself or shortened yourself every time you put on a pair of flats. Now, before we get into it, in case you're wondering, my height is 5'4". I wouldn't call myself petite and I wouldn't call myself tall. I think I'm quite average in my height, but all these tips you see today you're going to be able to use if you are petite or if you are tall. The point of today's video is not necessarily to make shorter people feel taller. It is just in general to make you look nice and long in your outfit when you're wearing a pair of flats. Today's video is broken down into two parts. The first part is the styles of flat shoes that you should go for if you're trying to make yourself look nice and long in your outfits. Second, I'm going to be running you through some outfit styling that I do with my clients when they're wanting to look nice and long or tall in their flat shoes. Now, it's not always having to wear a nude shoe or anything like that. We're going to walk you through some different options for different types of flats. Let's get into it. Let's start with the best shoe shapes and styles you should be looking for. The very best option for a flat shoe that's going to keep you looking nice and tall is going to be a flat that has a low vamp. Now, a vamp is this part of the shoe. The further it comes up your foot, the shorter you are going to look. Ideally, if you are trying to buy only a few pairs of flats or you really only want to be wearing flats, try and find flats that don't have much detail going on just on top of the foot. You really want to kind of show your foot off as much as possible. So a pair of low vamp flat shoes would be ideal for you. Another great option for flat shoes that are going to make you look nice and tall is a pointed toe flat. Now this one is a pointed toe, but it is not super pointy. You could opt for something that is very pointy, like what I've got here. I love both of these flats, but I do find myself feeling better in these ones. They're just a little tiny bit wider, so keep an eye on the width of your shoe. A lot of my clients get a bit worried about wearing pointed toe flats because they're going to squeeze their toes together. You want to opt for one that does look a little bit wider if you're worried about that. The other thing I hear from my clients sometimes who haven't worn a lot of pointed toe shoes is that they're worried their feet are going to look very long or a little bit witchy. Often that's the case if you're looking directly down at your feet. I promise you, yes, your feet will look longer. But the reason why we want to pick a pointed toe flat as opposed to a rounded toe flat, if our goal is to look taller, is because this will actually extend our leg out just a little bit more. Now, if we mix that with the low vamp, you're going to look like you've got a longer leg. So a pointed toe flat is going to be ideal for you. Now, another great option for a flat pair of shoes is a slingback that is also pointed and has a low vamp. Now, I don't personally have a flat, low vamp pointed toe slingback flat, but I do have these. Now, these have a higher vamp. I feel like I can get away with this because it has the slingback. And you'll see shortly when I show you the outfits, you'll see me wearing these. I do find these to be quite a flattering shoe, but they would be even better and even more flattering if they were a little less high on the vamp and if they were pointed or even in a more nude or neutral color. Now, something you really want to try and avoid if your goal is to look taller in your flat shoes is thick ankle straps. Ankle straps are going to kind of cut you off right at the bottom of your leg, and it's going to create a bit of a divide. So it'll break your leg shape down a little bit and make you look a little bit shorter. If you want to go for a strap on your shoe, whether that's because you're wide at the front and you struggle to find shoes that keep your foot in, go for a strap that is a flesh tone, that is thinner. Or rather than have the strap on your ankle, have it across the middle of the shoe like a Mary Jane. They're going to be far more flattering than going for something that sits right on the ankle. Particularly if you have thicker ankles like myself, you're going to find that the ankle strap is really unflattering. Now, I think it's also important when you're picking a good pair of flats for yourself to think about the colors that you're getting. One non-negotiable, I think, if you have a lot of flats, is to have something that is a bit more flesh tone. Now, for me, that is this shoe. This is a little bit closer to my skin tone. It's not perfect at all. It's a little bit more cream, but I'm effectively cream. What I would recommend is try and find a nude that looks like your nude. It doesn't have to be a stock standard nude color. If you've got darker skin, if you've got lighter skin, try and find something nice and close. You can also get warm and cool versions of nude shoes all around the place. I find places like Nine West and Whitner are pretty good for offering different undertones there, so it can look really natural on your feet. The other thing I think is really helpful is if you're buying a good set of flats for yourself, think about the types of colors that you're wearing on your lower half and try and get flats in those colors. So if you wear a lot of black on the lower half of your body, get yourself a black pair of flats. If you wear a lot of denim blue, maybe go for navies. That would look really nice as well. I think it's also a good rule of thumb is that if you wear a lot of light outfits, if you're a very neutral dresser, I would avoid having a lot of dark shoes in your wardrobe. I'd be thinking more about getting things in like nudes and tans and beiges, or even different versions of browns, khakis, those types of colors, as opposed to a heavier black color, because they might just look a little bottom heavy when you put them on. Now, I do just want to touch on sandals. When you are looking at sandal options, I think it's best to avoid really chunky, bulky details that sit right on top of your foot. So this pair of sandals is a great example. I would recommend, instead of something like this, if your goal is to look nice and tall, go for something that looks a little bit slimmer, a bit like these. So these are another Nine West option. I got these in the summer. I'm pretty sure they still sell them, or they might even be on sale, but they still show a lot of the foot. You get to see a lot of your ankle. It's not taken up by a lot of straps and things like that. Try and keep the details that sit on top of your foot nice and simple and not too big and bulky. The more of your foot that is covered up in a flat shoe, the shorter you will appear. Now let's move on to some outfit styling for flat shoes. Now you can mix and match these tips. As you'll see as I'm going through all of it, I'm building up outfits as I go, so it's kind of a step-by-step process, but you can take bits from one outfit and try it with another. All of these tips are great for anyone, so you don't have to be petite, tall, plus size, average height, whatever it is. You will be able to use these tips across your everyday wear, your workwear, and going out if you want to wear flats. My first tip for outfit styling is to roll up your sleeves. If your sleeves are long, if it's a cuffed shirt, even if it's a jumper, push those sleeves up to 3/4 down your arm. What this will do is lengthen your whole body by bringing attention to your waist. Next, if you want to look taller, pick some high-waisted bottoms. These are going to extend the length of your leg from your waist instead of your hip, which is what's going to make you look taller in flats. To make the most out of the high-waisted pant or a skirt, make sure you're tucking in the top that you're wearing. If you can, open up your neckline. This is going to bring attention up your body. If you've got on a high neckline that you can't open, say it's a turtleneck or just a high up crew neck, throw on a necklace that will mimic the shape of an open neckline instead. Next, adding a belt to your high waist is going to bring attention to your waist. It doesn't always mean you have to wear it with pants that have belt loops. You could try it with a skirt. You could even make a waist using a dress that's a little bit looser. Or if your dress has a seam on the waist, just throw a belt over that. Make sure it's nice and tight. And bonus points for outfit styling if you can match the metal of your belt to any metal that you're wearing. If you've tucked in your top and you're wearing a high-waisted garment, add a long layer over the top. What this will do is add 2 vertical lines going up and down your body, which will lengthen your whole frame. Another way to make yourself look taller in flats is by wearing monochromatic outfits. That just means you pick a colour and you wear it in different shades all the way down your body. So if you've got a lot of black clothing, try wearing black with charcoal and grey through to white. That will really help you lengthen your figure. As you can see here, I've just done it with whites and creams. Another easy way to look tall in flats is by wearing the same colour top and bottom. This will create a really long line of colour down your body, and then you want to put a different colour on top of you. It needs to be quite a different colour. So if it's a dark outfit, you then put a light jacket on. If it's a light outfit, you put a dark jacket on. A simple option for the warmer months is just to wear a shorter hemline. That could be anything from shorts to a skirt or a dress. I've tucked in my top, I've put my belt on with this one as well. Now, if you're comfortable showing your midsection, a crop top can be a really good option because it's going to make your body look like it has more leg than torso. It's also going to bring attention to your waist. Now lastly, if you have longer hair, try bringing it up, adding some earrings, maybe even adding a hat. What that will do is add a little bit of height on top of your head and bring attention up your body. Alright, that's all I've got for you today. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment down below if you've got any ideas for future videos. If you found this helpful, please let me know as well. Any interaction you have with my channel always makes me want to come back and make more videos, and it also helps my video reach more people. Alright, I look forward to seeing you guys next week with another video.